Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bomber Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow, Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
All right, man. Let's talk about Devin Haney and Deontay Wilder getting the victory. And what's so funny was I just got done watching the Haney fight because the planned fight was on. I watched the Haney fight. Now the Haney fight, I put Minnie outside to use the bathroom, brought Minnie inside to use the bathroom. Okay, come get in the cage to go to sleep. Came in the back room about to do the Haney video. I said, let me turn this Wilder fight on. You know, they already boxing. You know what I'm saying? Lenny's kind of catch him a couple of times. Then, you know, I said, well, let me kind of get comfortable. And the next thing I know, old buddy was looking at the roof of the church, preacher telling the truth that it hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I was looking like, damn, you know, short right hand kind of almost mimicked the Arctic Spilka knockout. You know? So yeah, it kind of was you know, it kind of was kind of was shocking. Talk about the Wilder first, and I get the Haney and Kambosos too, because there's more to talk about there than it is here. You know what I'm saying? I was looking like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, he turned his power completely out. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Helenius, he been in the ring with Wilder, most likely with headgear on, and you know, it's a different feeling when you got the headgear on, and then it's a different feeling when you taking it right on the chops. And he took it right on the chops today. You know, he got real brave. You know, he ain't the most fleet of foot fighter. You know, I think we all can we all can agree with that. He is not the most fleet of foot fighter. But like I said before, he followed them, wasn't defense responsible, you know, felt like, you know, he had some momentum that was going his way, and got caught. That's all it is to it, and got caught. No, I don't, you know, he felt the more. I don't know what he felt it, you know. Can you feel it? I don't know. He was feeling too good. He got Wilder in the corner, and you know, hands not bringing his hands back home, following, and that's what they tell you not to follow a puncher. That's exactly what they tell you not to follow a puncher. You're not supposed to do that. But obviously, he didn't get the message. Yeah, you don't follow him. You got to cut the ring off. You start following you follow anybody, you know what I'm saying, and you don't cut the ring off. That it's a problem. It's a big problem. So it's a certain way, you know, you step over, you know, you follow somebody, you know, more 9 times out of 10, man, you're gonna follow somebody. You better have your guard together. And he didn't have his guard together. You know, he did not have his guard together. So you know, Wilder back, different day, different time. We kind of talk about, you know, where he goes from here and all that type of stuff. But you know, still can punch, you know, can move. Both guys was dry too. If you notice, in the Haney and the Kambosos fight, both of them dudes was dry. Not lathered up, and as a heavyweight, it's never good to come in there. As any fighter, it's never good to come in there dry. It's never good. You want to be lathered up. You want to build some sweat. You know what I'm saying? Because you come out cold, you get touched when you cold. You go to sleep. You loosen them bones up, and also, you know, them limbs up, and them all them, you know, tendons and stuff. Also, you know, when you come out cold like that, you get to moving, you're more susceptible to injury. You know what I'm saying? So you got to work up a sweat. And as a heavyweight, you got a problem working up a sweat. You got a problem. You ain't warming up the right way. You know what my man said? Tommy Lane said, he said, "Do you see what he said? You see a tiger or a lion, you know, stretch, you know, before it get his prey or something like that." It's one of my favorite movies too. But in this situation, you gotta stretch. You gotta get your limbs together. You gotta get ready for all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important. That him Wilder come out better warmed up, and if Helenius gonna continue his career, especially Haney Kambosos, the lower weight classes, you got to come out there lathered up. But he looked explosive, he looked good, but it wasn't enough sample size. Had he went 3, 4, 5 rounds, I think we would have got a better picture about physically where he at. But no question about his speed and his power. There's no question that being at 214 and a half, that was the correct weight for him. And he wanted to put that weight on. And of course, that's why in the second fight, he was talking about he was feeling sluggish and shit. His body felt that way. Dude, you put on a lot of weight. That's what wasn't no costume. It wasn't he put nothing in your water. You know what I'm saying? You just put on too much damn weight. And then you put it on wrong, man. You put that weight on your lower body. You know what I'm saying? You put the weight on your lower body, bro. When you do that, that also gonna help your longevity. It's not gonna hurt your mobility. Like if you was Muhammad Ali type, I doubt it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna help you be more strength. You're gonna put that weight on. You put it in the glutes. You put it in the hams. You put it in the quads. You put it in the calves. You put it all in there. And that's an athlete you start to kind of fade or get out of his prime. A lot of times it got something to do with the lower body starting to deteriorate. So, who was the strength and conditioning coach, they didn't know what they was doing, bro. When you putting that weight on, you don't put it up top. Especially you look at what type of athlete, type of puncher he is. He's a torso guy, snap back, snap, snap guy. Kind of like, him and Crawford, they power, a lot of their power come from that hip to that torso part where it's just like a slingshot. You know what I'm saying? The heavier you're trying to slingshot something, the less effective it is. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be lean up top, so you can be heavy at the bottom. That's perfectly fine. That's what's gonna keep you in the game and keep you sturdy. A lot of times, make you even punch even harder. Make you more solid and not get pushed around. It's just, you look at a lot of the great running backs. They heavy in the lower body. Look at Barry Sanders. You know what I'm saying? Very heavy in the lower body. That's why he able to get stronger when the defense able to get weaker. Emmitt Smith, you going on and on about those guys. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to Wilder. Quick first round knockout. Let's move on to Haney and George Kambosos. Watch this fight. And I'm gonna talk about Haney at 142. In the coming days, or shit could be today. But but once you look at it, once you look at it, Haney left a knockout out there. He left a knockout. And somebody pointed this out on Twitter when I said this. I said he's looking for one shot and he's smothering. He's looking for one shot. He's looking to pop shot. And combination punching is it's a lost art in boxing, to be honest. And he looking for one shot and then he falling in. It's not like he looking for, you can do that. That's fine because obviously he got the victory. But once you kind of doing that, then what you want to do is, you hit him with the overhand right. You know what I'm saying? Usually that's a one good shot. So, when you throw that overhand right, you really see somebody come back and follow. I think that's how Darrell got knocked out. He tried to come back with left hook. Yeah, he could have hit the overhand right. What he was throwing it with a lot of, he's throwing it solid. And then came back with a left hook. But I think, he kind of should have switched it up. Maybe throw a jab, right hand. You know what I'm saying? Kept him off balance. He was doing that. Double jab, right hand, then come back with a hook, then get out of there. Could have been a jab, right hand, doubled up the right hand, whatever it may be. Could have been a jab, step over with the right hand, come with the right, come back with the left hook. He was looking for that one big shot. He wasn't looking to follow up. Follow his work up. It was all his balance was on that one shot, and then clinching and smothering his work. It was about design. So I thought he could have doubled up the right hand. His dad said he wanted more of the hook in there. So there's some things that left on the table. Should have a lot more body punches should have been in there. That would have broken down. So but when you box and have the reflexes that he have, you rather have that than power. Power only goes so far, especially when you're moving up in the ranks. And Kambosos came out trying to switch hit and all that stuff, and it took Haney a couple rounds, maybe not a couple rounds at the most. And he started throwing the right hand when he was switching. He was getting caught. It was just never follow up. And like I said, what somebody on Twitter pointed out, said Shakir do the same thing. They defensive responsible. They want to be right back in position to defend. And that's something about some of the great offensive fighters of our time. It was Julian Jackson. It was a younger Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Robinson, which Tim Bradley made a reference through the in the commentary about, whoever it may be, Roy Jones. When you the great sign of being a great defensive fighter or a balanced fighter is when you can not compromise offense, you can and still be good defensively. And that's just something Devin got to think about, for Kambosos, it was desperate showing. He switching early on. It was very desperate. Very desperate, bro. That's how I knew he was in trouble. You come out, you switching, and come on, you confused, you're not confident what you're doing. But he stuck with the game plan to the very end. He stuck to the game plan to the very end. And credit to him, he landed some shots here and there. He landed some body shots. He was committed to the body. So I would just say, man, I would just say, for him, what he had needed to do, get on the inside and rough him up. But he ain't had no inside game for him. So it was an uphill battle. It was nothing he really can do. And knew he was going to jab more, knew he was going to be aggressive to switch and threw him off for a minute. But it wasn't like he gave him trouble for 6-7 rounds. And then, he was able to kind of, do something else later in the fight. But same thing, Devin Haney, first fight, his choice of weapon, his weapon of choice was a jab. This time it was the right hand. So, composure. Everybody is not going to be a great finisher. But there is something to be desired. As a combination puncher, and I know he can. He trained Floyd Singer. That's what he trained, combination. So he can't do it if he have to do it. So probably just something in his toolbox. But looking for that big right hand, it was nice to see he would have followed up, maybe doubled it, maybe follow some body work up, maybe a big left hook. But it is what it is. He won. He dominated. He busted him up. He got busted up a little bit too. Kambosos was trying to headbutt him and elbow him too, trying to do what he was doing. But Kambosos, you just can't pop up and be good versus slick fighters. You kind of got to run with the gorillas, and the cat pillars to kind of understand how they work and be one. But he probably fooled at 140 pounds. If he can't make 140, they both look drained. And George Kambosos, Devin boxing gonna take you a long way. So he'll be able to gain 5 pounds. And how beneficial will the 5 pounds be for Devin Haney? Is the question. It'd be beneficial, obviously, but how long, because he stayed at 135 so long, how long do we pop up that 47? Let's happen to Canelo. Treated around 55 off for a while, went to 60. People don't realize he only had a handful of fights at 60. He was at 68. But Devin might be a lot younger than him when he made that jump. He'd be 24 soon, so he might be at 47 before you blink. So 40 good fighters in there, but it's a lot of tough and rugged mode, low risk, high risk, low reward type of guys in there, man. And that might be the problem. But I'll talk about that another day. Still undisputed lightweight champion. We'll see what he do. Talk about Lomachenko. Talk about that later. But yeah, let me know what you girls and guys think. Shout out to Fire Reaction Playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Deontay the Bronze Bomber Water. Shout out to Devin Haney. Shout out to the females today. If you missed my video, I'll put them in the cards, and one will be at the end screen. So I appreciate y'all. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. I'm everywhere. Just hit the link tree. The first link in the description. Appreciate y'all. Peace.